Hi everybody, this is Rita Peterson with Everything Homemade, and I am going to talk to you about a very confusing subject when it comes to gardening. I get this question a lot. When do I start my seeds? So you get seeds in from peppers to tomatoes to leeks to onions to all these things, and you're looking at them going, okay, it's February. Do I start anything? Do I wait till March? Do I wait till April? When do I start my seeds? So I'm going to make a video every single month from February, March, and April, and in May when we get to transplanting and planting in the garden. You're going to follow me step by step on how to start plants and when to start plants. So some plants I will actually start, and some plants I won't, just because I'm not growing them in the garden this year. And in future, I will fill in those blanks, because I will, depending on the year. But this year, for plants to start in February, you're looking at this list. You're looking at leeks. Leeks is a very slow grower. To get that real nice bulb, you want to start them now. Onions from seed, you want to start them from now. If you didn't plant bulbs in the fall and you have seeds, this is when you want to start them. Garlic, if you got like little seeds from a friend or from somewhere that you've stored, you want to start it now if you're going to plant them into the garden. You can also broadcast them in the spring, but don't expect to get a bulb forming. It'll take a couple of years. Celery, you want to start celery. Celery is really, really slow, so you got to give them, some time to get at least a couple inches big. They're really slow at the beginning, but then they pick up. Annual flowers, petunias. If you want to start petunias, now is the time. If you want them big and beautiful for hanging baskets, or just to, get that spring feeling out with some, get them flowering by the time May comes, now is the time to get started. So those are the major ones that you want to start right now. Now, some tips here. I am not going to start onions this year because I start them from bulbs and I plant them in the fall, and same with garlic. But one thing that I want to give you a big tip is that onions really like it warm to get going. They are a cool crop, but to get the seed germinating really good, you got to be about 20 degrees Celsius. And to do this, your dirt needs to be warm. So this is my trick. Really simply, get a container. I fill it about 2 inches full of potting soil. I don't start with seed mix. I find that it does not support the nutrients for the plant. You've got dampening off that happens. So I just get a really good, I use Sunshine number 4. I buy it at Peavey Mart, or you can buy it at Dunvegan Gardens. That's what I use with lots of success. So I put my potting soil in, and then I put my seeds in. I usually take a spoon and press them down, and then I take a spray bottle, spray it so it's moist, put in boat. Now I use about just under an inch. For my next layer, I put the potting soil on, make that moist. Now you don't want it drenching, like you shouldn't see a pond of water. And then what I do is I take some saran wrap. Now saran wrap, make it your best friend when starting plants. It is the best greenhouse maker ever. So what I do is I take a piece of saran wrap, I put it over top, and I either tape around just to hold it in place, or you could put an elastic band around it. Be creative here. And then I always mark. So I take some painter's tape and I say, Australian onions or yellow onions, or sometimes I even initial it, Y onion, because I know what I'm growing. And I definitely label everything. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'll remember what it is. Always label. Definitely do that. So I label it, and then I find a warm spot. And feel on top of your fridge. This is one of my favorites. Feel on top of your fridge. See if it's warm, because it gives off heat. And so I put all my containers that need the soil warm, I put it right on top of my fridge. Now, if you don't have a warm fridge and you got a brand new fridge, and not an older one like mine that produces heat on top, the other trick that you're going to do is you want to get a grow light. Or, in fact, any light, in this case because it's not germinating yet. And you want to shine that light. So you have your container, let's say here, you want to shine your light about 2 inches above that container. If you have a grow light, put it on 24/7. If you got another light, put that on. And what it does, it just heats up the dirt. And as soon as the plant comes up, it sees light instantly. And so it's not going to get leggy. It's not going to go grow, trying to find light. It hits the light instantly. And this is the trick that I use all the time. And people ask me, why aren't your plants so leggy? Well, this is my trick. Get that light on there instantly, and you are going to have beautiful plants. So when the plants come up, start coming up, take that plastic off, keep that light on, preferably a grow light, and I keep it on for 24 hours. 24 hours for about 2 to 3 days. So when everything's germinating, even in the middle of the night, they hit the light. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't have like some really nice plants over here, some leggy plants over here. Keep that light on, and that goes with onions. Then what you want to do about after 3 days, you want to put the photo period in. So at night, you turn it off, and during the day, you turn it back on, and they adjust really quick. And then you have beautiful plants. And I will demonstrate this in March when we start our peppers, when we start our tomatoes. I will start demonstrating and a lot more how I use my grow lights. And how I speed things up, and how I get really nice, strong, beautiful plants with such a simple concept and just using your grow lights properly. And this is where a lot of gardeners struggle, is they're not using the grow lights properly, and you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need hundreds of dollars of equipment. I always say I have my containers, I have my saran wrap, I got some painter's tape, some dirt, a spray bottle, and my grow light. That's all I need. And people just are flabbergasted because they think I have all this fancy stuff to produce such beautiful plants. But I don't. I keep it simple, keep it affordable, and that is it. And I will show you in detail. But if you're starting these plants, get a grow light, or just get a bulb to start with if you don't got the space, and just follow what I just said, and you'll see a huge difference, a faster germination in them, and beautiful plants. So you want to keep that grow light on. If you do have a south-facing window after they're up, like after they're about 2 to 3 inches tall, move them to a south-facing window. But you got to remember this: every morning, turn the container around to the other side so the plants don't all grow one direction. So if your plants are leaning this way, you turn the container around and they'll start leaning the other way. I turn them around 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening, which makes my plants stand straight up instead of leaning over this way or this way. So the plants are always moving and they get strong. Okay? And that's what you need to do. So breakfast, lunch, and supper, turn plant time, and have that. And that is a very important thing if you're using a window. And sometimes when you're using like a grow light, you might have to do some turning too if your grow light isn't evenly distributed over everything. So just really pay attention to those couple things. The last thing I'm going to mention here quickly is a super tip, is use chamomile tea. This prevents dampening off. It actually kills the bacteria in dampening off. So if you've got a problem with this, if you see plants suddenly dying instantly, and you see at the bottom just before, just above the dirt, and then you have the roots, and it's like somebody pinched the bottom off and your plants are just plopping over, you've got a dampening off problem. It's a serious problem. Did you know that the greenhouses actually use chamomile tea, some of them, to protect their plants? I have used it with success. You make a chamomile tea and you pour it over your plants, and it helps to keep dampening off away. The other thing is if you have dampening off in a container and you're seeing your plants being wiped out, use thieves. Thieves essential oils. You can buy it at a health food store, or you can go online and you can see the 5 ingredients that go in it, make it. It's affordable. And what I do is, I think buying my container is about a gallon when it's right full, but I usually fill it up to about a half a gallon. I put like 3 drops of this essential oil mix, and I water my plants with it. And let me tell you, if you've got dampening off, it'll kill it. And you will save a lot of plants using it. And those are super important tricks that I use, because dampening off can happen anytime, anywhere. And when you're starting hundreds of plants, you may just have it, but there is a cure and there is a prevention. So chamomile tea, and you can use thieves as prevention. You can water, let's say, once a week with it, or every second watering with it. Or you can just go ahead, use normal water, filter water. You don't want to use chlorinated water, because chlorinated water, some plants will actually die, like celery. You don't want to use chlorinated water. Add the couple drops of thieves, and it's a prevention worthwhile doing. There's nothing like losing hundreds of plants to dampening off. So get started on these, and I will see you again back in beginning of March, and we will start to actually plant, and I will be planting with you. I am so excited about the gardening season, and looking forward to sharing my experience with you to help you enjoy gardening to the fullest. Thank you for watching.